To this webinar on Microsoft OneNote and Powerpoint for Education. My name is Connor Loudon, and today I'll be demonstrating how these two applications can enhance teaching and learning in high school physical education. Both tools support creativity, reflection, and digital literacy while engaging students in practical and interactive ways. Let's start with Microsoft OneNote, a digital notebook that allows students to organize, annotate, and reflect on their learning in PE. In PE, OneNote can be used as a personal reflection journal. Here's an example of an artifact I created. The PE Reflection Journal, students can document weekly fitness goals, track training programs and progress, and record skill development. They can even insert videos of their performance, images of exercises, and teachers can provide inline feedback directly into their own notebook. OneNote promotes organization between students, and it allows the teacher to be able to oversee the students and their learning. So say in this OneNote that I've created, we have the section, the PE Reflection Journal, and then we have the page, the weekly fitness goals. In the week 1 goals, the student has said they want to improve their sprint speed, increase push-up repetitions, and improve passing accuracy in basketball. They have then made a table that allows them to put their target, their progress notes, and have their goals there. And then they've done their sprint technique reflection after a session. So the following, they put a table with their observation and notes for improvement. And as a teacher reading this, you can make notes on the students. Because you do have permission to be able to make notes in the students' own pages, which will help them understand a bit more. See here, I have written that, remember that the knees need to be reaching a high on a sprinting technique and to generate more power needed for the sprint. And that's because the student wrote that their knees did not reach optimal level. So I've written that. And they've also noted that their feet were dragged through. And I've also given them a question to test their knowledge, which is saying, what force does dragging your feet give you? Which it should be drag. Endurance training week 1. They've done an entire table again. The tables are really easy. They're really simple to use for students. And they've done all of this. The weekly reflection summaries. They're good for students. Their reflection points were strengths this week, sprint start, endurance and jogging. Areas for improvement as their arm drive, push-up repetitions and feet drag. And goals for next week is to focus on sprint technique and upper body strength. So when I saw the sprint technique, I decided to give them a little video which will allow them to watch a proper sprint technique and be able to analyze the video and be able to address the problem themselves with critical thinking. OneNote is a very good app for teachers as it allows them to edit, manage, and supervise children and students, whilst also giving students their own way of taking notes and allowing them to use their own critical thinking to be able to think of all of their pages. There's also sections on a teacher's OneNote where you can have collaboration spaces, which allows students to all work together in one page, which is amazing. Moving on to PowerPoint. PowerPoint supports multimodal learning by combining visuals, text, and embedded media. Students can also create their own presentations to demonstrate skills or design fitness routines, promoting ownership and communication skills. By visualizing movement concepts and sharing knowledge, students engage in reflective and in creative learning. In this PowerPoint presentation, this is one that I would teach to the class personally, and I'd put it on the screen at the front. This is a skill analysis presentation. I have a welcome, I have pictures to be able to lure the students in, because if it's all writing, the students won't enjoy it as much. And in this presentation, we'll analyze the sprint technique, identify strengths and areas for improvement, and apply feedback to improve performance. I have the learning objectives, understand key elements of sprint technique, analyze personal and model performance, identify strengths and areas for improvement, and apply feedback to enhance performance. Here I put in a table of arm technique, and I've also made some dot points of what they need to be doing with their arms when they are running. I've also given an example of my performance, and also given an example of my improvement plan. PowerPoint works really well with OneNote because I could teach them this PowerPoint in the lesson, and then we could go on to them making it their own on the OneNote. And in that OneNote, they'll be able to go back to this PowerPoint and be able to see the things that they need to be doing. Leg drive, I've done the exact same thing. My performance, improvement plan, model examples, dot points, follow through, exact same, extend legs fully at finish line, performance, improvement plans, and comparison to model. That is a very good thing to have because you're able to encourage your students to look at a model diagram and see what they can do better and think about what technique they're using and see how they can apply it to themselves. And then I also always have a thank you slide at the end. It just makes everything a bit easier. Together, OneNote and PowerPoint provide complementary opportunities for students to reflect, analyze, and communicate learning. OneNote supports individual reflection and teacher feedback, while PowerPoint allows creative visual demonstration of skills. Both applications enhance engagement, encourage digital literacy, and provide flexible, meaningful learning experiences in high school PE.